What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Welcome to some Forza Horizon 5 with some new cars that they've added into the game. And this is actually one of them that I'm driving right now, the brand new Ford Focus ST. I've already seen hate on these cars. I've already seen a bunch of hate online of people saying, oh, we don't want these cars. There's one thing that I want to start off by saying in this video, right? I kind of want to mention this, because I feel like it's gonna happen in the comment section of this video as well. We will always have people that are not happy with the stuff that Playground Games, or pretty much any developer or whatever, anyone ever releases for video games. There will always be someone that isn't happy with it. You'll have the kids that only want hypercars in this game, that are like, why are we driving these regular cars? Then you'll have the people that have played this game, they want more regular cars in the game, and then when they start adding loads of crazy hypercars in the game, they're like, well, why are we constantly getting these hypercars? Why can't we just get some regular cars in the game? And then you can have people that just don't want to play with these Fords, for example, like in this video, and they're like, why don't they add the Nissan Laurel or the Chaser or some garbage like that? Because they're not happy, they don't want to drive a Ford Focus, they want to drive something JDM. You know, there's always going to be someone that is unhappy with the cars that they add into the game. As long as they're new cars and they're not recycled cars from previous games, I'm happy with the cars that they add into the game. This is a Ford Focus ST. Obviously, over with the newest cars that they've added into the game, these ones are kind of going to be in the high performance dailies category. And you'll see a few of them. I don't know why it says exclusive on the BMW M2, because we've already had that before. So it's not exclusive, it's just technically a hard to find car. It usually says exclusive on a car when it's brand new, right? Ford Focus is brand new for this season. You have to get your 20 points and you get it. Next week, we're going to get a Toyota Camry TRD, which is kind of interesting. It should be very fun to drive as well. Then we have a Ford Fiesta, and then we have the SRT Durango Hellcat, I think. Yeah, and that is also going to be very, very cool. But for this week, we got a Ford Focus ST. Now, I want to drive this thing, and I want to do stuff to it, of course. 276 horsepower, 420 newton-meters of torque, 1,437 kilos. It's a little bit slow, isn't it? It is a little bit sluggish. I thought that the Focus ST... Actually, no, not really, right? The Focus ST would be, like, comparable to a GTI instead of a Golf R. So, technically, this should be a little bit more nippy and a little bit more powerful than the Golf GTI. Since I think it has about like 30 or 40 more horsepower. There's some pops and bangs going on as well. A little bit of understeer with it. Sounds like a vacuum cleaner because it's a 4-cylinder. Man, I miss the days when you had like big old engines in hatchbacks. How fun was that? Back when the Focus ST and the Focus RS used to have a 2.5 liter 5-cylinder, which sounded unbelievably nice. Even the Golfs had a 3.2 liter VER6. Oh god, I love the VER6. We used to have some big old engines, man. Even back in the day with the old like Vectras and the old Astras, where you could have like 3 liters in them. But people used to shove 3 liters in the old Astras. 3 liter V6s. Alphas as well, remember the Alpha 147? Oh. I'm just trying to listen to the pops and bags, they just sound funny. Anyway, yeah, I mean the Focus is pretty cool. The only thing I don't really like about the new Fords, for example, is that they're going with the same route that the Germans are doing, right? Well, they'll have like an ST line version of the car, which is basically your regular everyday car, which will have bits and pieces from the ST. And they don't look that indifferent. You know? It's like the Golf R and the Golf R line, right? Like you'll have the trim from like very similar to like a Golf R, but it's just not. You'll probably still have like a 1 liter like 3-cylinder in it. It'll be the same thing now with Ford. Whereas back in the day, there was never an ST line. Way back in the day, but now there's an ST line, and they kind of look very similar to these things. I've driven a Ford Focus, or one of these, basically, the pre-facelift of this car, before. Not an ST, just a regular one. It's actually a very nice and comfortable car. It's a massive improvement from the previous generation Focus. The previous generation Focus, in my opinion, was just ugly. Especially the interior. I think the interior of the previous generation Focus was clapped. It was just ugly. This one, really nice place to be in. I think overall just a very, very, very nice and comfortable place to be in. This is manual as well. Very nice. I like it. I do like this Focus. Alright, so let's do stuff to it. Hopefully we can have some options for different engines. I kind of want to put the 2.5 liter in it. I feel like that could be kind of fun to try and mess around with this thing. Really, kind of dropped the ball there, game. I know it's a slower engine and whatever. I should have dropped it into like B class or something like that by putting a 2.5 liter in it, but come on, kind of dropped the ball on that one. I also don't like it being front engine, front wheel drive, so I kind of want to go ahead and either make it all wheel drive or rear wheel drive. I think all wheel drive would probably be the best to go with this thing. I kind of want to just mess around with it. I kind of want to just add parts to it and see what's possible. Oh yeah, also, completely forgot. Maxton Design kits are now available in this game. The ugly Maxton Design kits. Some of them are kind of okay, but there's a lot of these Maxton Design kits that are just ugly. I'm sorry, but they just are. And it's just such a rice box. Every time I see one of these drive about with Maxton Design parts on it, it's just so funny to me. Oh my god. Okay, the wing is actually not too bad. It's kind of like a little extended, like, rally style wing. Oh god, the different types of rear valance with the old fake diffusers. Yes. Oh my god, it looks like it came straight out. It looks like it came straight out of Halford's. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's such a riced out box. I was about to call it a shitbox, but it's not really a shitbox. The new Focus is actually quite nice. Oh god, but just all the parts that you can put on it. Should I fully rice this out? I feel like this is something that a Ford owner would do. A Ford owner that would put Maxton Design parts on it, I swear they would put these wheels on it. They have the little outer ring. 100%. I want to make this thing look clapped, but at the same time I kind of want to make it drive well. 100% they would definitely put on they would put on a I kind of don't even want to lower it, to be honest, because it kind of looks like it's fine, but like I said, at the same time I kind of want to do both with this thing. I want to not only make this thing drive well, but at the same time just look ugly. God, it's so clapped. I kind of want to put a set of wheels on this thing, right? I feel like a lot of Ford owners want to put like their silly little rally wheels on them. Oh my god, why? I put rotorforms on it. It's either rotorforms or Oz wheels, because like I said, they feel like their car is basically a rally car, so they want to slap parts on it that make it look like a rally car. Where at the same time it just doesn't. Or 1552s actually, because of course they're driving a rally car. This is definitely something that I would see Ford owners do, for real. Yeah, this is it. This is genuinely what I would see a Ford owner drive around with. This, or completely stock wheels but plasti dipped, or like fully painted like matte black with a rattle can. It's, like I said, this is exactly what I would see people do. Oh, it's so funny to me. It's so funny because this is legitimate. I guarantee you, someone in the comments is gonna say, "There's a guy around the corner that has this car." I guarantee you. What are we looking at power-wise with the standard engine? Why does this one have so many pops? I kind of want to put this on. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner, but at the same time, it just has just loads of pops and bangs. It sounds really bad too. Oh my god, we built this thing to the top of S1. Seriously? Jesus Christ. 616 horsepower out of this 2. What? It's not 2.3 liter anymore, is it? It's like 2.6. Oh my god. Right, well I know that this is going to be a lot quicker now than it was before, but at the same time I feel like it's going to struggle a little bit. Oh, none of the parts are... Oh god, yeah, I mean I should have guessed it. None of the parts are aerodynamic. Like you can't change any of the aero on it. Weird. I don't even want to change the color of this thing. Like what does it drive like even? Oh, the pops, man. It just pops forever. Oh my god. It just doesn't stop. Alright, I'm gonna do one thing that that I probably shouldn't. I'm gonna take it on one of the new events, and we'll see what it's like. Should I bring it on the Cloverleaf? Let's bring it on the Cloverleaf Sprint. And just drive it like this. Thank god. It's exactly what you'd expect this thing to look like. I can't wait for the Ford Fiesta. I genuinely can't. I feel like the Ford Fiesta is gonna be just as bad as this. I said it's gonna have a bunch of maxed in design parts that you'll just slap on it and make this thing look as ridiculous and as dumb as possible. Just fully over the top things. Fully over the top. The only problem is that this is an actual ST. This needs to be the 1 liter 3-cylinder. Because that's what all these guys are driving, right? That's what people that own Forza are like, right? They'll have like the cheapest one. They'll have like I said, an ST line little 1 liter. Give it a pop and bang map. Just to make as much noise as possible, and then slap a bunch of maximum design parts on it. Am I describing the average young Ford owner? Because I see a bunch of Ford Fiestas every now and then, or older Focuses, drive around and pretty much look like this. Just make a lot of noise. I don't really go anywhere that quick. And they're just, like I said, just trying to be as annoying as possible. They're just as annoying as VW owners and BMW owners that quote-unquote modify their cars. I say quote-unquote because by modifying I mean they absolutely ruin the cars completely and just make them as loud as possible and slap the cheapest possible parts on them. Oh my god. I should be in a McDonald's parking lot, to be honest. Or outside of Halfords. I feel like that's exactly where this car should be at. Unfortunately, there's no Halfords in Mexico. Let me try to do another run with it. It does slip a little bit because I'm on semi-slicks. I'm not actually on slick tires with it. So, as much as I'm trying to like drive this thing around and enjoy driving it, it is quick, right? Like, don't get me wrong. Like in the game, it's quite quick. The only thing is, I feel like I said, like I need a little bit of aero, so I think I definitely would sacrifice maybe a little bit of the power for some aero, or even sacrifice it for a slightly better set of tires, so the fully slicks. I actually don't really think I need the fully slicks. I just need to drive very cleanly and I should be fine even with these semi-slicks. Yeah, it's not a bad car to drive. As an all-wheel drive anyway. I think as a front-wheel drive, especially if you give this thing 600 and whatever horsepower, this thing would understeer like crazy. Like you won't be able to accelerate at all with it. Some cars are actually quite alright if you just leave them as their front-wheel drive part. You do need grip. You do need grip, and you need to set your gear ratios just right so you can start accelerating out of corners as soon as you possibly can, right? Because as a front-wheel drive car, if you floor out of corners a lot of the times, you will struggle with grip. So if you tune your suspension properly and you start flooring it out of corners, you could try and get yourself something decent, but it is kind of hard to do, like I said, especially running like 600 plus horsepower. It is a little bit difficult to do. I'm not expecting this to be anywhere near the top of the leaderboard, but it's just funny. I want to see what time I've actually gotten with it, just for a laugh. Yeah, all those new races as well. That was a brand new race, which I will eventually get to because I have been playing the new races on on the channel just to see what they're like and trying to get as high as possible on the leaderboards. So, like I said, I have been trying them. Just, you know, bear with me. Bear with me. Top 4%, not even close to anywhere near the top. Not even top 1,000 out of 24,000 people. How terrible is that? Yeah, but it's an interesting car. I feel like this could be quite fun if you want to try and maybe do a little bit of all-wheel drifting with it. If you want to turn it into kind of like a little gymkhana type car, let's kind of do that instead. Maybe that'll be a little bit better to drive. I'm going to put the snow tires on it, and I am going to get rid of the tire width, so we're only on 235s. And I'm also going to change to the drift suspension for this thing. And everything else I'm going to leave the same, because I'm just going to adjust it. I'm going to change the way my diff works, and I'm going to change my gear ratios. And I'm, of course, going to change my suspension layout now as well, because it's a drift spec. Let's have a little look now. Oh, it's much better. Look at the nice angle you can hold with it. It is mostly rear biased as well. I'm just kind of driving this thing on the throttle. I'm not even like using my steering. Maybe a little bit now to like change direction. Oh, it's lovely and smooth. Like I said, if you want to build this thing for maybe like a gymkhana type of build, this could be quite fun. I just wish you could have like a wide body for it. I feel like that would be even better. But then again, this is quite a new car now, so I don't think you'll be able to get a wide body for it. I mean, not really, right? Because this is technically the facelift of the Focus. Because this does have the bigger screen and everything. It is the facelift. I think it looks good. I think it's so much nicer than the old one. The one that came out in like 2011 or something like that? God, that thing just collapsed. I think it was so clapped compared to this. I don't know, man. I'm liking the regular traffic cars getting added into the game. I'm enjoying them. I just wish that they would allow us to do some silly engine swaps and stuff like that. Like this could be really, really cool if we had the 2.5 liter 5-cylinder in it that the really old Focus has. I feel like that would be a really, really good one. Because I mean, even the ST of that one had the 2.5 5-cylinder. Not even just the RS. But it's funny that this car now shares an engine with the Mustang. How weird is that? I think it's more weird that the Mustang has a 4-cylinder in it now as well. It's very strange to me. Regardless, this is a new Ford Focus. If you want to try it out for yourselves, especially with the Maxton design parts, which look just as weird as they do in real life, yeah, definitely give it a shot. Get your 20 points and pretty much get it and drive it for yourselves and let me know what you think of it. I think it's a fun car. I think it's an interesting car. Yes, it's more regular and more normal than the old supercars and hypercars that they add into the game sometimes, but I am up for that any day of the week. 100%. Anyway, like I said, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.